Welcome, Dragon Magazine, issue 136, episode 136, coincidentally, of the Dragon's Tome. We're going through every issue of Dragon Magazine chronologically. We're up to this number. My name's Rob.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Pat.
We're here to talk about 136 from August 1988. And the cover is...
Right. It
what?
disappeared the month.
Yeah, this is the one that 2 weeks ago I mentioned that the month might disappear. It does. And this one is a Naga sitting on a throne called Holding Court, and it's by a person named Ken Whiting. I remember we were trying to figure out that name, the signature.
Oh, yeah.
Could be this fella.
I bet you it is.
Ken Whiting. I don't remember what the picture was because it was a couple weeks ago, but we were trying to figure it out.
It was a dragon, I think, wasn't it?
Don't remember. That was like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember yesterday.
You're right. I just want to know why Captain Britain is in this cover.
Captain Britain? Oh, with his little fancy dress. He's getting his throat ripped out by the hobgoblin. So and there's a little
which incidentally you are taller than.
and the little gnome jester. That's fun.
I was going to call him a dwarf to make Jack angry.
Nothing makes me angry. Nothing makes me angrier than calling what is clearly a Wanti a Naga. That's the thing that irked me. But after that,
it's a Naga.
It's a Naga.
How dare you?
Nada on that Naga.
And then the human giving her some liquids. She's the queen. Anything else to say about this cover?
I like it. It's nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is one of my favorites that I've seen in a while because both artistically, the composition, the subject matter, the different races, it has everything. If I saw this on a rack someplace, I'd have been very inclined to pick it up and take a peep.
Do want to know why Captain Britain is also possessed.
He doesn't look like he has black eyes, yeah.
Yeah, he's just got demon-possessed eyes.
Because he's a witcher.
Oh.
He's the Witcher.
He does have Witcher-like hair.
So, Jack, you would have been inclined to buy this magazine, and then you would have been sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Spoilers!
I had a hard time with this one.
Let's start with Jack, since he loves this issue so much.
Okay, page 30, please.
30, Room for a Night.
Room for the Night.
There you go. There goes one of my articles.
There goes one of mine, too.
Inns and Taverns. Now, there are two authors up here, Patrick Goshtagan and Nick Kopsinis.
Sorry.
And they are doing God's work if you are trying to make a standardized rule for accommodations in your kingdom or in your setting or in your so it hits on quality of the establishment for inns and taverns. It gives you quality, it gives you the cost to stay at them, and it gives you amenities that would be offered based on the
star rating. Yep.
And they use a star rating system, so like you could say at a Michelin's 4-star inn, and you would get laundry services that would cost this. It's like I said, it's that doldrum thing that when you're making an adventure and you're like, it's all right here.
Yeah, it's a nice little article if you want to make a fast in. The charts are well enough that you can make a fast in, just kind of roll it up real quick on the fly, or you can use it to flesh out your city with a permanent inn.
Yeah, and I like how it gives options. Like your city could have all these inns, and it'd be like, do you want to stay at the 1-star inn or you want to stay at the 4-star inn? Here's your prices. Yeah. Here's your choices. And it describes
Here's the one closest to the Indiana Convention Center.
It describes all the amenities and stuff. And I love how all the pricing is in one place. Because usually you're like, okay, you want to buy a drink, I'll just make it up. Or at least, or have to look through the book whatever, trying to find how much is a beer. Like, here it all has
Brr.
all the prices and everything, which is, I like that. And mattering at which level you're staying at, it's all different prices. So there's taverns and inns, which is nice. So
Yep. I like that the 4-star inn has a library.
super useful.
Yeah. And the tables are almost perfect that are presented to us.
you mean that with alignments and stuff?
Yeah.
There's a
The
few
tavern
messes.
drinks. The tavern drinks a little messy.
Yeah, tavern drinks has a little mess. Yeah. Anyways, fun times. That was one of my articles also. So Patrick, what is your first article?
Let's start with
Better not be
number 10.
That's
10.
my other article. We're in trouble, guys. It's gonna be the shortest episode ever.
Building blocks, city styles. So this is a nice little on the whim random city generator. It's got nice lists with what buildings the PCs may encounter. Bigger cities, of course, anywhere from a hamlet to a large city. Bigger cities have bigger modifier rolls when you roll these things.
So yeah, you're not likely to find a hut in a.
Yeah, it's covers city size and type of city, i.e., inland city or port cities. It's so. I enjoyed this article. It's a nice little town generator for you if you need to make one. Again, this one could be used as you're creating your campaign world, or you can just put one in the middle of nowhere for when your parties are looking for when you're a bad GM and just throwing cities everywhere.
Throwing cities everywhere, but
just throwing them anywhere, helter skelter, just hither and yon.
But it is very super useful. So if you're you want to just populate an area where we know they're going to the merchants, but what else is on the way? You just throw some numbers, roll some things up, and tell them what's on the way. Yeah, super useful. That's what these two articles we talked about were the super useful articles in this one.
Yeah, these are probably the two best articles in this magazine.
They are the only two articles in this magazine. It's now my turn. Thanks, guys. You took both of my articles.
You're running this one. You should have
gone first.
You should have. You should have just guys, I gotta. Every man for themselves.
This was eventually bound to happen. So,
we will go to page 60. Through the Looking Glass. This is the
gas.
This is the miniature articles, and they got a lot of reviews about all these great miniatures. Oh, look at all these reviews. Oh, there's 4 pictures, I should say, and they don't. Yeah. It doesn't show half the miniatures they talk about. You have a miniature review article without pictures. It annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, these are all Warhammer. These are all GW.
Except for the Goblin War Giant on the other page, but they have all these different articles about miniatures, and they don't have pictures for them. That makes no sense.
What I could see of it, this is a horrible looking miniature.
The Goblin War Giant?
Yeah.
He does look like Swamp Thing a bit.
Yeah.
The article is far longer than it needs to because it's describing physically what a picture would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just take a picture of it.
Yeah, and when you're looking to purchase something, often it's the picture that's going to do it for you. Like these other miniatures here, the dwarf and they're someone has painted it. It's their miniature they use at home, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so I know what that looks like, but not when you're talking about the Renegade Legion Interceptor.
Show me a Renegade Legion Interceptor. I don't know what that is. It might be interesting.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. When I was reading these things, I was like, he's more just describing it. Why can't you just show a picture?
I wonder what a fighter in plate from Alliance Miniatures looks like. We'll never know.
Yeah.
We can kind of guess based on
and the one thing too is the titles for these things vastly differs from maker to maker. Like he gives you the code number and the name of the miniature for Stan Johansson's miniatures, but under Games Workshop it just says Warhammer Fantasy Regiments.
And under FASA for some reason it says CNC soft metal casting.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean? Is that the company makes it? I don't know.
Who knows? I just, at this point, I think it was Ralph Park that was doing fast
I would think so.
ventures.
Yeah. And the last page is just deadlines and licenses. He just pretty much says, "Oh, just because you see it here, it might not be in your territory yet." But he says that for a whole freaking page. Like he talks a long time about this. It's like, dude, more pictures, less this, more this.
Yes, that's for sure. I mean, if you're going to do that, you got to at least show the stuff that you were talking about.
So let's just hope that Mr. Bigelow figures it out for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Otherwise, the Looking Glass ain't going to last long.
You got to pass for the first article.
Yeah, the first.
Yes, this is. We had the.
This is your Growing Pains article.
Yeah, we had the preamble last. Now this is your inaugural. He does put a mailing address for suggestions, so maybe this will morph into something more useful.
Yeah, who knows? We're back to Jack. Any more articles, Jack?
Can we do page 36?
I'm amazed you didn't do the city one also. 50 ways to foil your players.
Oh, another one.
Fantastic article. I think probably the best in the magazine, and it starts with the preface of saying that Jape Trostel says that not all of your game should be street combat, and it says, but what would replace that as a as a story for a session. And this is 50 different. Now there's 3 different categories, but it is only 50. So you could, I don't know, mathematically make it random, but
D100 divided by 2.
But it starts with individual foils, and foils are like just a person that will interact and do certain things with the party to make a story happen. That so there's individuals, there's group, and then there's special ones. I think it's called special ones. Group foils, and then what was the last one? I'm going to scroll down.
Special.
Here.
Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it just starts with, hey, there's a mad scientist or a jealous lover or something like that, and it gives a little brief synopsis of what they are and how you would play them.
Yeah, just like a random character generator almost.
Kind of to create this and to make an antagonist that would replace a combat heavy, and then it's food for thought in making an adventure, especially if you want to mix it up a little bit.
And it is interesting because this is something that in the future, this is pretty common to have non-combat foils, but it sounds like at this point it's not that common. This is a newish idea, so
yeah,
more of a drama. Like eventually there is something called drama system, which is all about just doing interpersonal conflicts instead of physical conflicts. So this sounds like this person's on the good old Jape. He has a little Jape. And
could you have rap battles in the?
Yeah, there's always a chance for rap battles.
Yeah. Once dance-offs went out of vogue, then rap battles the obvious successor.
Yeah. It's faux show.
What about a walk-off? It's a walk-off.
It's the hierarchy of needs.
Drop the loot. Yeah, that's a fun article. Patrick, what is your next article? Last article?
My last article is going to go to page 20.
20. The long arm of the law.
Long arm of the law. So
this sounds similar to what we heard before when adventurers get into a city and start causing trouble. You always need something to fight them.
This is actually a counterpart article to all the thieves articles that we've had in the past. This is from the get-go. I'm not a big fan of this idea because in it he talks about how a city must have an alignment and either be evil or good. So it's either lawful or chaotic or evil or good, which I just don't get. because
Yeah.
a city,
I guess
or
it would have a
city-
feel, not necessarily
but a
alignment.
city or country is either is either evil or good based on its leadership, not its people. So you can you in general. I mean, there's always exceptions to said rules, but for the most part, just because you're the leader's tyrannical doesn't mean everyone in the city is going to be
But
running roughshod or breaking laws left and right. You know,
but it would be you kind of do dictate what the city's going to be like. If there is no law, the city would probably be more lawless, right? So
Well, that's what I'm saying. This article doesn't say it's lawless. It's not, if your city is chaotic, then the law is going to be is supposed to be the racial prejudice sheriff or the lazy sheriff.
Yeah, but
gonna,
they dictate the sort of what the whole feel of the area is.
But my point is that has neither anything to do with law or chaotic in this else. That's just the person, whoever puts it there. Because you have some good cities who have bad cops. Yes.
No, but you're trying to imply like today's idea of a city.
Just in general.
I think back then, well, in like a fantasy setting also, but it's also you get the feel of a city when you see like any kind of fiction. When you walk into a city, so there's some shady characters around. It's the feel of it, Like you're trying to say like one person is just because one person's evil, the whole place is evil. It's more like the whole place is evil, so that person's also evil. So
no, but that's not. That's really not what I'm saying. What I'm saying in his article, he's saying that city, that whole city is that way.
Yeah, but you're saying that person made the city that way. I think it's the opposite. The city made the person that way. So the city was evil to begin with.
Because
can I give a third perspective?
Sure.
Go ahead.
That the alignment only kind of is the established government and its long arm of the law as
that's
a part of
that's kind of my point. That's the point I'm trying to say.
It doesn't have anything to do, because it is the law system. It's the system, not the people.
That's my point.
Then you should have said it that way.
You said it more. I will give you you said it more eloquently than I did.
Well,
I think you're taking umbrage that he's just kind of blanking the whole area with this one feeling.
I take umbrage to the fact that it has to be this way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just decide then you want that law system to be a chaotic or a bad system, not the city itself. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I get.
But which comes first? My thing is which comes first. If the system in the city is bad, it's going to influence the whole city. Because only bad people will stay there. Because good people will get the fuck out.
Well, not in the fantasy setting. You said where those people are going to go.
Well, I think that's the thing. I'm sure you would find good people trying to survive in a terrible place. But
yeah, I mean, and his examples are just horrible. I'll go again to.
I think the whole issue is that he's just a bad writer.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the issue again where he talks about if the city is you nominate the city as a chaotic city, then the law people are going to be, arresting people and shaking people down all the time. Everyone. I mean, granted, nowadays or even back then, more often than not, the people who were in charge of the law were probably bad to begin with, i.e., Wild West.
Yeah.
But
this is a large article, and we've focused in on one paragraph of a throwaway.
Well, it's not one paragraph; it's the first half of the article. But then
the article basically is from the moment a crime happens all the way to court proceedings and punishment.
But that's the second half of my comment.
Yeah, it's a good article about how things would proceed from the moment a crime happens till you're in twisting that handle on a box of sand.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to the second, because this is every crime drama you watch. You could watch the first 48 hours.
Yeah, but back then, none of those things were on at the time.
So, well, you could watch Magnum PI or
I don't think
Simon and Simon.
This is all before Hill Street Blues. So
this is definitely Hill Street Blues. You watch Hill Street Blues.
I keep forgetting we're in 1988 already. That's all.
And you have this article. Is my point is that
Law and Order hasn't come out yet. First half just started. Maybe that's it. When did Law and Order come out? Maybe that's what influenced this person's article.
But this whole
Dan Howard heard dun dun and went, oh, oh, and just like a boxer just started reacting.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of this article. It just, there were a lot of things about it. I was like, this is, it doesn't you're blanketing everything in it, making it.
Oh, Law & Order didn't come out till 1990, so this guy maybe he wrote Law & Order.
Well, he didn't do a very good job in this article, that's for sure. So
Jack is defending him. I don't know. There's good people on both sides, I think.
So the procedural part that Jack's referencing, the procedural part that Jack is referencing is just like I said, every law show that you've seen. I mean, I'm sure Perry Mason.
I definitely wouldn't want to play this because my thief gets caught, so he has to wait years for a trial and all. It's
just I don't know.
And then he has
don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Exactly. This is too much for a D&D game.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're going to go through all this, you might as well just say, okay, rip my character up and make a new character because it's ridiculous. If you want to, what is it? Simulation of a city that's going to, sure, but
you could definitely do the procedural part, but you're going to scale it down. You're just going to.
If it was set to, like, if you were the like you're saying, an actual procedural where you're playing the cops or the lawyers, that makes more sense to this article. But if you're playing the criminal, it doesn't end well.
No.
So.
Not at all.
And it's a long way not to end well, because no matter what you're going to do, either you're going to get broken out of jail or you're going to be hung or be in jail at least for 30 days, I think is the minimum. So
I mean, I feel like there was a way to write this article better. I don't know if I could be the one to do it better.
I just don't think there's a point to it.
There's not much to it. To
like, are you ever going to use this in a game? Probably not, because that'd be terrible to have to play through this, because all you're going to be doing is sitting in a trial for like, that's kind of weird.
It's Jack might have liked it, but it was, well, I said there was not much in here for me. I did find this article to write about because it wasn't for me.
Remember when Dennis Franz dropped Trow on television?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal. It seemed like a lifetime ago. So what I was kind of basing my timeline on.
It was probably 1990.
Got to be around there.
Yep.
That's it for that article. I mean, it just wasn't, as a counterpoint article to all the Thieves articles, how to things like, it falls short in my opinion.
That's fine. Things fall short sometimes. We're going to go to page 99 now.
Oh, that's my 5th article.
Is it?
No, I don't. That's it. I'm done.
The Game Fair update. It's Gen Con Origins Game Fair awaits you. It's still not happened yet. So the dual con is still not happened yet. And this gives a little update on what's going down. And it doesn't sound good. It sounds like a shit show even before it started, because the game submission packet got lost somewhere, and so everything was pushed back. You couldn't put your games in for people to then buy, like, sessions. And I guess
this is the old way too. This is for online. You have to actually mail your submissions in.
So imagine the whole pack gets lost, so you can't do it. And then once the games were on sale many months later, everything sold out so quick. People didn't get what they wanted because there's so many more people, because it's going to be Gen Con and Origins. So a lot of people are complaining that they never got into sessions they wanted, and it's so far it sounds like it's. If this is the only Gen Con Origins dual thing, I can believe it, because it sounds like it's an issue.
I think
already.
It's funny that people are arguing or complaining about it, but guess what? That's how it is now.
Yeah. For sure. It's still, cause it's the size, right? I think that this was probably a lot bigger than the last Gen Con, because it's both Gen Con and Origins.
The problem is that these are exhibitor / game master run events. Mm-hmm. If no one is putting the events in, then you're not going to get the events that you want. You know what I'm saying? It's a supply and demand. You don't have nearly as much supply as you have demand.
No, but I think the problem is it's all this. In previous Gen Cons, there was like big tournaments that everybody always went in. All those tournaments, now that it's Gen Con and Origins, those tournaments sold out a lot quicker than they used to. Yeah. So people were like, "Oh, I always got into this tournament. Now I'm not getting into the tournament." It's because the numbers doubled probably. Yeah,
because your demand is now doubled.
Yeah.
And your supply stayed the same.
And because they never expected it.
you're doing it all by mail. So just to
Right.
get the package, you send your
Unless you were part of a rich family, you may have had a fax machine at this point.
maybe. So you send that away, and depending on when you send it away, you might already not have a chance to do any of the things in the packet that by the time it gets back to you.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works. Like, who gets first come first serve? That's kind of odd. Like, yeah,
It seems like that would probably be the
yeah,
case.
that'd be
If
crazy.
your letter got there first but got put on the bottom of the pile, you're
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah, imagine that and you don't find out until, like, especially since it was so delayed, you don't find out until it's like, oh, I was preparing for this and now I don't have any things I was going to go for. Well, why am I even going? You know,
Yeah.
My second and third choices
But
are
you got
gone.
your name badge and your tickets for your events in the mail. So
Yeah.
then you go, I didn't get into that game. Oh, I didn't get in that game.
I guess when we went to the UbiCon, I remember it was little tickets, but did we just pick them up there? I don't remember how it happened, or do we have to mail something in beforehand?
We had to mail to get the packet. Then we would fill out the thing, mail that back, and then when we got there to register,
We'd
got
see
an
what. Oh,
envelope
we'd
that
look
had
and see what we had. Yeah,
all of the little,
that's why sometimes we're in games together because certain people got some and some didn't. Yeah, that makes sense.
we all wanted to get in one game, and sometimes it was one or two of us, and then everyone else got their second or third picks down the line.
So I guess that's the same idea. Yeah. Yeah, it also suggests that if you're a role player, go check out the miniature areas, and if you're a miniature player, go check out the role playing, because obviously the two were like, I didn't get to my miniature tournament. Well, go check out the role playing instead. But it sounds like it's not going to work, and I'm curious how long they stay together. I think it might be just this one time, but we'll see. I can't wait till it actually happens and we get a review of what went down, because I'm curious how well it's going to read between the lines, you know. Anybody else got any other articles?
I got a crap ton of ads though.
I got 2 ads. So. Okay, we'll go to ads. Jack, we'll start with you since I know you only have 1 ad.
Okay, we are going to go to page 106.
Oh, that was one of mine.
106 isn't mine. 107 and 108 are mine.
When Queen did the theme song, Buck Rogers
of the universe
game, the
of the 25th century.
Yes,
that's in the alternate timeline.
It looks a lot less like the serialized comic Buck Rogers and more towards the more advanced version style-wise to the TV show, the Gil Gerard, Aaron Gray TV. And boy, that's a lot of plastic. And
400 pieces.
Mind you, they are just different colored for the most part versions of basically the same thing.
Well, they get fighters, you get little jets,
like ground troops. You
get like cities.
I don't think they are. I think they're a lot different because you look at some are square and like it's a terrible picture, so you can't really tell the details. But I think each little guy is different. Like the sets for each faction.
Some of the factions have overlap, and then some of them have like 2 colors, and some of them have like different things. So I've never played the game, don't know, but just visually, some of them
definitely looks like a 4X game.
Some are different.
What I wrote for you guys when I was gonna do this one, I said, "Does this look fun?" ? Should I get it?
It does look like a game you'd like, but I don't think it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like the Star Trek game that you introduced Rob and I to, and then just smoked us.
I didn't smoke you. You guys you guys did very well.
Both, but yeah, it was a close game actually.
We should have lashed out, Rob. We should have.
We didn't.
I was ready.
We didn't fight.
I was ready.
Yeah. I should have fought more for sure, but I was gonna win the next round, so Pat just caught me by 1 round.
And you were being sneaky about it too, Rob,
I was being
because
sneaky about it.
I was watching him, and you were going, "Look, Pat's got another one. Pat bought another one of those."
I was piling all my things up so you couldn't tell how many I had. We're playing. What's the name of the game? Pat?
Star Trek Ascendancy.
Ascendancy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely looks like a 4X game. It looks like you're using your planes to take over planets. So it looks like so that is, but it's a small board though for such a large amount of pieces. Like if you had all those pieces on the board, it would just be
like
plastic.
Sounds like you think I shouldn't get it, so then I won't bother.
I think once again this is probably very expensive.
More than 9 or less than 99?
I have not looked for it.
Because I would think, once again, it's a dual Buck Rogers fan. Maybe there isn't that many Buck Rogers fans. Yeah. It's not like Marvel fans.
Well, so. It's not. But again, like Jack said, it's graphic wise like the comic book license that they have, not the TV show license that everyone loves.
Without being too, there's no picture of Tweaky on the front.
Yeah.
So
there's no Draconians. There's no Princess Ardala.
We don't know. There's definitely pictures on these cards, so we don't know who those guys are.
But I'm saying, like on the box, who knows? Because of all those factions, it could be one of those is the princess.
But I do think I think the license is for the serials, not for the TV show. So that would make sense.
I will say it is less than 99.
Oh,
considerably.
Well, you might have to add it to the horde.
I don't know if I want to.
Pat, what is your first ad?
Let's see. Let's start, since we're at 106, let's go to 107.
That's one of my ads. A full color ad. Look at this beautiful. This is what a miniature article should look like.
Should look like. So
100%.
And my comment to this ad is, I think at this time, Ralph Partha is ahead of the mini game.
Oh yeah, I think
these miniatures look way more.
Look at that red dragon. That is
way
beautiful.
More better than the GW minis. They're not up to Ralph Partha's quality here yet, but as time goes by, Ralph Partha gets worse in GW's.
Right. Yeah. These are all still metal, but these are beautiful miniatures. You got all the battle tech. You got the giant.
That giant skeleton looks awesome.
Yeah. That dragon is amazing though.
That barbarian down in there at the bottom, and then you got the little ninja guys too. That look really cool.
Yeah, this is a great ad. Great miniatures.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Ralph Partha is still leading the miniature race.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. My first ad, might as well keep going, is 108. It's Greyhawk Adventures. And the thing that they're really pushing is this year's only AD&D hardcover. I don't think that's something you should probably announce, because that doesn't sound good. But it's
first edition.
Huh?
For first edition, what does it say? Compatible with AD&D
and second edition.
And the second edition.
Yeah, but it's they're not putting out any hardcovers because once again they're waiting for second edition. But that's that's not a good sign when you only put out one hardcover in a year. Yeah. But this is Greyhawk with the classic. It reminds me of Joust. Remember the game Joust? That's what that cover reminds me of.
And it's also by Jim Ward.
Yes, the actual book Greyhawk Adventures, and it is it's just a source book for all about Greyhawk. So if you want to play some games in the AD&D and Greyhawk, this is what you use.
And I think I've said it before, but at the time I would never put two and two together. But as an adult looking back, everything that I look and go, oh, I had that and I enjoyed it. James Ward's name was on the front.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the main guys. So I think
in the 80s, the 80s, James Ward really comes out to the forefront.
But my wheelhouse, what I enjoyed,
I agree.
His name was always on the front.
Yeah, we always come back to him being a major contributor to the best stuff. So, so this is supposedly compatible with AD&D and second edition because it does have new spells and stuff and magic items and stuff, but it's mostly a guidebook for Greyhawk. So
yeah.
Cool. I never had it. Jack, did you have this one?
I think so. We had seen the artwork probably about a month ago, but it wasn't like the ad like this. It was maybe a coming attractions thing, and I said that is so iconic. I think I have that hardcover book, but if not, it's because that picture was probably in a Monstrous Compendium in one of the full color. But I think I do. I think I still have that book somewhere.
And who doesn't want a knight riding a griffin, right?
Yeah, fighting a bird.
True.
Or going after the giant dragon on top of that mound. I assume the bird's on his side. It's glowing white. But cool cover and Greyhawk. Anybody else got any more ads?
I got plenty.
Oh, good. It's all you now. So you guys stole my other ad.
All right, so let's go. We'll go backwards. Let's go back to 105 since we're in this side of the map.
It's all the ads right around here. Oh yes, Dragonlance, the board game.
Dragonlance the board game. I still have this game, and it was in the shelves on top of the Dark Tower. We should have played it.
I definitely remember this game because I remember the little standees gate things.
The poke. Oh yeah, and the poker chips that was your altitude.
Yeah,
or your elevation. Yeah.
I definitely remember this game for sure.
So we could have played this. It was in the basement.
Well, the Horde has many things. It has
Okay.
many things to give us.
All right. So then quickly, let's go to page 35.
Is this another Space 1889?
Space
Yes.
1889, but this is the miniature war game.
Oh yeah.
Gallons of Mars. So this is I just thought it was, this is another game I've never seen.
No, I definitely didn't know there was a miniature game. It's hex based. It looks like.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
$24.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it does come with 10 miniatures or 8 miniatures?
Yeah, 8 miniatures. So
6 is, it's like if you're looking for space skiffs in that kind of steampunk look and for air combat, I don't know, that's not a bad price.
it actually even says this is compatible with the Ironclads and Ether Flyer board game, which I don't know what that is.
Coming this fall.
Yeah.
I wonder if that ever comes out.
Yeah. No, maybe it doesn't, because it says the role-playing game comes out in 1989, January of 1989. So maybe we don't see this. Maybe this is why I didn't see it.
I know Space 1889 is a thing, the role-playing game, but I never knew it was a miniature game. So.
All right. We'll have to look into it at one point.
GDW Traveler guys, they're crazy.
Yep.
I think this might be when they were trying to get away from Traveler, because this is also the time where Cyberpunk's starting. So I think they saw the writing on the wall for hard sci-fi. So, any more ads, Patrick?
Yes, page 18. 2 more.
Oh, geez. Blood Bowl. Oh, we were going to talk about Blood Bowl.
This is why I didn't do it. I didn't do it in the last ad, because this shows now all the Blood Bowl teams.
Elves, dwarves,
and I just want to point out,
orcs,
quality miniatures, not as good as Realpata. And second of all, it's $6.50 for a whole team.
Wow, that's
this box, $6.50, and you get all those elves.
That's GW pricing. So
back then, that's still not a money for all these models.
But they were silly looking.
Yeah, they're not the best.
They're not. That's not a bad price, but I wouldn't buy them.
Yeah, they're very comical in their sense, especially these orcs.
Yeah, the orcs especially were the ones I looked at. But it does remind me a lot of Dreadball that comes out from Mantic many years later. It's very similar looks to me.
So, and then my last ad, we're going to go right back to the beginning to page 2.
Right back to the first one.
Yes,
this is a big one too.
City Systems, Forgotten Realms. It's the Waterdeep box set. So this is how you learn about Waterdeep.
Well, this isn't the actual Waterdeep box set. That comes later, but this has Waterdeep in it, yes.
Yes. But, I mean, right now at this point, this is the most Waterdeep you get.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if Gary wasn't ousted, would Forgotten Realms be the forefront, or would it be Greyhawk?
No, it would be Greyhawk for sure. Yeah, Forgotten Realms definitely was after he was gone.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to say, though. It's hard to say, because Forgotten Realms was very well loved even when Gary was still around.
I would argue that Forgotten Realms wasn't the source material for the game that made it what it was. It was the authors of the books that ignited people's imaginations to then want to be in this world.
Yeah, because the Crystal Shard brings a lot of Dritz fans.
They hit they hit those books out of the park, and I think Forgotten Realms reaped the reward of having the source material for people to play in that setting.
It's a good debate to have. Would arguments could be made on both sides. I would be on the side of Forgotten Realms, even though I played Greyhawk and I loved Greyhawk.
Yeah, but I don't think Gary would have
just had more grasp on my like.
I just don't think he would allowed a competitor to his Greyhawk. That's all I'm saying.
That's a valid point. But that being said, would the ego lose to the need for money?
But I don't know.
So again, this would be a debate, a campfire debate for hours.
Because what can he do to stop it other than say, okay, well, Forgotten Realms. Oh yeah. See it on this map, and he takes the map of Greyhawk and moves it up and over, and you go, that's it's in Greyhawk. Really.
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms is actually just like this bit here in
instead
my
of being
world.
instead of being Faerun in its own place, it's now part of Oerth.
Because I can't imagine any other way he'd be able to stamp it out at this point. It's got to.
No, I'm saying it never would have gotten to this point. It would never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's it from all my articles and ads.
And ads. That's it. We're back to the beginning. Hey, we're right here anyway, so I can just scroll up. If you liked this little thing we did, please comment below, like, share, subscribe.
Why would you?
If you think Jack's a jerk, please comment below.
Before we sign off, I do want to point out that I'm kind of surprised that neither of you guys picked page 3.
I'm surprised that the audacity of during the end of the show, after you just had 16 ads, to then the just hubris to say, hey guys, let's go back. Rob was just about to say, hey, Jack's a fan favorite. Everyone.
Oh, that's not. I stopped him from insulting you, so you guys.
Oh.
I didn't want the fight to happen, so I quickly diffused the situation by inserting a third but horrible ad.
I'm
a third ad.
I'm just sickened by the whole situation. But yes, Rocky and Bullwinkle role-playing party game. I don't think it's a role-playing game. I think it's just a cash grab.
So, all right, let's move on now. That
are we done? Are you done with that?
Well, I diffused the situation.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. No, let's.
No,
I'm invested. No. Look at this.
I think
everyone look.
I think we should just leave. We're leaving now. Say goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye, Jack.
With a gun?
Jack, say goodbye. Jack. That's Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah, how do you not know that's Dudley Do-Right? He's Canadian of all people. Jesus Christ!
You failed the test.
There's a kid there who wishes his dog could talk.
You've lost your Canadian.
Until next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Why didn't we talk about this ad?
That's it. I'm leaving.
That's it.